and welcome back, guys. Well, I hope you are learning as well as enjoying this exciting course. And with the same excitement, we are going to start this lecture. Every programmer has invested hours of work fixing a ridiculously simple issue, like a pair of parameters passed in the wrong order or an incorrectly capitalized variable. Naming things is not hard just because a programmer's life is regularly ruined by tiny headaches. It is also because the issue of naming is actually the edge of every programmer's most important job: software design. In other words, how do you write code that is clear, clean, and consistent? Hello and welcome back. In the previous lecture, we learned how variables are created and declared. In this lesson, we will learn about let and constant. But before that, let us see the agenda of this lecture. We will start with the meaning of constant and how to use it. After that, we will move forward to let keyword and its examples. And at the end, there is an assignment for you. So as we discussed in our previous lesson, we declare a new variable in JavaScript using the var keyword. But there are two more ways to declare a variable, that is constant and let. Each of them is used differently depending upon what you're working with. So let us get started with the easiest first, constant keyword. Constant was first introduced into JavaScript when ES6 was released. Basically, when you assign a value to the variable using constant, it means that you cannot change the value of the variable once it has been assigned. If you do so, you will get an error. So let us try it. Firstly, open Chrome, right-click and select Inspect option. Under the console, type constant x equal to 10. Press Enter. To see the value of x, simply type x and press Enter. This shows the value of x as 10. Now to see if we can assign a different value to x, type x equal to 20 and press Enter. Wow! So you see there comes an error called as uncaught type error, assignment to constant variable. This shows you cannot assign the value to a constant variable more than once. You can use the constant keyword when you know the variable is going to remain with the same value throughout the program. If you set a constant statement inside of a block, it will only remain inside of a block. Here is an example on the screen. In this example, we first declared x as 5 and then in the next line, we started a block and declared a constant x as 20. The value of x is for the constant will be 20 because it is inside the block, and as the block ends, the value of x again goes back to 5 because of variable x at the beginning of the code. This clearly says constant is block scoped. That means anything you try to do with a constant variable can only be used within that block where you wrote it. Now let us understand how to declare a constant variable. Constant a is equal to 5. This is the correct way to define and assign a constant variable. A equal to 5. This is the correct way to define and assign a constant variable. Use the keyword constant. Assign the value at the same time it is declared. Constant x is equal to 1 / correct way. Constant x equal to 1 / wrong way. By this time, we learned that constant values cannot change. But let me tell you, a constant object can change. Yes, you heard me right. You can change the properties of constant objects. To understand how, let us take an example. Open the console and write, create a constant object. Here we are changing a property. Have a look at your screen. Name is changed to maths. Thus, we can change the properties of a constant object, but you cannot recreate the object. Have a look at the example. Subject equal to name, computer, class, 9, section, A, age 13. So this throws an error as uncaught type error, assignment to constant variable. You can also change constant arrays. Here is an example on the screen. Similar to objects, you cannot reassign the constant arrays. Have a look at the example. This gives an error. So hope you understood about constant keyword and how it can be used. Now let us move on to learn about the let keyword. Similar to constant, let also works in terms of block scope. However, it is similar to var in the fact that let does allow you to change its value later on in your code. But more on that in a minute. Now let us look at an example. Here it is on your screen. In this example, even though we declared number of balls as 20 initially using let and then redeclared it as 50, the value which gets printed for line 4 is 50 instead of 20. If we used constant instead of let, it would throw an error like it did previously in our examples. Now, for example, we declared number of balls again at line 2 using let. This throws an error because you cannot declare the same variable in the same block more than once. Here is the example. Identifier number of balls has already been declared. Well, let us take a look at this code. So this happens because we set the variable in its own block. Okay, this completes about constant and let. Be careful and make sure that you are using the correct syntax depending on if you are using constant, let, or variable. And here is a simple assignment for you guys. Determine the output of this. Constant name equal to John, name equal to Monica. So in the next lesson, we will learn about the data types in JavaScript. Till then, stay tuned and take care of yourself.